Welcome to Leah DTV, where we kiki about reality TV. If you love TV and want to joke and laugh about all the drama you see, hit that subscribe button, baby, and get comfy. So we're gonna review Life After Lockup. This episode I rated, I'll give it a C. Okay, so we're gonna start with Shane and Sarah. Kind of, child. I don't even know why they got their picture together because she's stringing this man along real fast. So we see Sarah and she's with her daughter. She's telling us how much she missed her daughter and how she watched her grow up with pictures because she went in when her daughter was a baby. She's been out of jail about 2 months now, and Dodo Head Shane is still in Ohio. He needs to go back to his kids. He's looking lonely, washing dishes. He says every time they make plans to meet up, she flakes. Well, you don't say, okay? He found a job, and his house was pretty nice. One thing about Shane, he gonna find a job, baby. And he gonna dish out money to random women. So Kelly calls Shane, to basically rub in his face how lonely he is. He's like, I talk to Kelly almost every day, and I'm just really lonely out here. That's why Struggle Face left you, because you talk to Kelly every day. They are really close to be divorced. So while he's on the phone with Kelly, Sarah is getting her hair dyed fiery red because she's about to show her true fiery red colors, okay? Sarah tells her friend that he moved there, but she didn't tell him to move there, so that's his problem. She ain't got nothing to do with that. Sarah's very cold. She used that man. I think so far she's worse than Destiny, because at least Destiny did lay up with him for a couple days. You know what I'm saying? You gotta play to play. You try and get some money. Sarah ain't even trying to lay up with him. She like, oh, I'm going to see my daughter. I'll see you later. Like, what? You don't even know how to get all the dough. Okay, so Shane calls Sarah and he tells her that he feels like they need to spend some time together. He's like, all this texting and calling is for the birds. Anybody could do that. I'm trying to see you face to face. And Sarah's like, well, I'm just here with my daughter. I'm in mommy mode. There's no one else. Shane said, are you sure? Because I feel like you're talking to another guy. And basically, he gives her the ultimatum where, like, look, either we meet up or we go our separate ways. When Sarah heard that, she basically was like, okay, wait a minute. The dollar signs might be going away. I'm going to need to gather him. So she's like, really? She didn't really give him an answer. I wish Sarah would just go ahead and tell Shane to go back home to his kids and ex-wife, because she don't want that man. At least she could have spent one night with him. She been out of the pen 2 months and ain't spent a day with him. Ain't no damn way. Moving on, let's talk about Stan and Lisa. So we see Stan, he's spraying mustard on his sandwich bread. I was like, what kind of mustard is that? Lisa come back with her extensions, and she tells us that God doesn't give up on people. So she's not giving up on Stan. Baby, please don't bring my God up into y'all mess, because what y'all doing is some mess. All right, Lisa? Lisa says to stop texting his exes. Stan is like, I don't text them. All right, listen, do you want to be exclusive? Lisa's like, I live in your house. What are you talking about? Lisa brings to Stan's attention the shrine of exes that he has on his fireplace. Every picture is Stan and his toupee smiling with a different woman. So Lisa tells Stan that they need to go talk to a pastor. Why is y'all trying to bring God up into y'all mess? Okay? So the battle of the wigs are on their way to church. In the car, Stan reaches over to touch Lisa's head, and one of her straws of hair, gets caught in his sleeve. He's like, oh, get it, it's caught. Ah. So anyway, I hope he got the hair off his arm. Then we see the pastor, and the pastor comes out and he's like, how'd you guys meet? And Lisa went ahead and spilled the beans and says, well, we met on a site where you pay people for sex. Stan says, well, that's not really the case. Lisa's like, I have the messages. Okay, I have the messages of you asking, can I hit it? Okay, Don't be fronting in front of the pastor. He's like, oh, okay. So then Lisa says she wants a commitment. The pastor is like, well, what is the basis of the relationship? Lisa's like, sex. Stan's like, we haven't had sex in so long. How can you say that, Lisa? I love you, Lisa. I really do. Stan says he loves Lisa. Lisa says, you make me miserable. Well, baby, don't be with nobody who make you miserable. That's number one, Lisa. You didn't say he gets on your nerves. You said he makes you miserable. That's deep. So you need to get away from him. I'm sure he ain't got that much money. According to you, you could get a billionaire. Why are you still there? Lisa tells us that they used to talk about God all the time when she was in the pen. And since she's been out, it's nothing. The pastor's like, well, what do you guys want to do? And Lisa's like, well, I just don't know. The pastor's like, I think you do know. So Lisa needs to leave that man alone. If he's making her miserable, stop wasting his toupee time. Moving on, let's talk about John and Christina. So they're at this venue and they plan to have their new wedding there. So they show a flashback of Christina pimp slapping her sister for flirting with Dirty John. Christina wants to invite her sister to rub their union in her face. That's basically the only reason she wants her to come. So I think John slept with Tara. He kissed her or did something because it's just not adding up. He don't want her around at all. Like, this is Christina's sister. Why she can't come? If it was just flirting, it'd just be what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I think they took it to another level. Christina goes wedding dress shopping with her mother. Christina's mom calls Tara and she doesn't pick up the phone, I guess. So she calls a couple times and she leaves a message. She's like, I'm going to send someone to the door. Bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh, I hate the way she sounds. She sounds like a box of cigarettes. She sounds like a Newport. Christina looks so pretty in her dress. But I just don't know why she thinks that her sister will support her union. Like, her sister wants her meat. She wants Dirty John and his dirty meat. Like, she trying to ruin her. And I just don't know why she want to rub it in. I mean, I would want to rub it in her face too. But, child, all that come see me trying to dress, her sister ain't gonna do that because she's not happy for you. So, let's get a new storyline. Moving on, let's talk about Mars and Brittany, child. So, Mars is back home from his walk, child. He walked off trying to look like he was heated. Brittany apologized for not telling Mars about the money missing. And Mars says, well, what do you want to do about it? Brittany says, well, let's go to his house. Mars says, let's go tomorrow. He trying to act big and bad. They both are, but they just don't put no fear in nothing for me. So they call Brittany's sister over to watch the kids while they go do thug tangs and pop up at the thieves' house. They're going there to pick up some furniture or get the man out their house. I really didn't understand why they needed a U-Haul and all of that, but child, they had a U-Haul and all that. So I guess the screen door was open, child. As soon as that man seen them walking up to the door, he slammed that door in their face. He was like, I'm not doing this but you. I'm not doing this. Brittany was like, come out. What? Are you scared? Come out. Brittany, child, bye. Now Mars isn't standing there. He the most quiet one, but was so amped up to go there. He's like, I gotta keep Brittany out of jail. But you was the one who told her to go there. And she probably still on parole, so you putting her in a position where she could potentially, maybe, go back to jail. Now you go, Brittany, I gotta keep her. Child, bye. Bald-headed self. Moving on, let's talk about Puppy and Amber. So they meet up for lunch. Puppy says that she hasn't seen Amber since she broke up with her. Puppy says that she's been knowing Amber about 5 years, which is like dog years because most of those years they were in prison. I believe that because you spend more time with each other. Amber tells Puppy that her mom is worried about her. And she asks, who's that guy? Who's that guy at the door? Why you want to know? That's my man. And that's what Puppy said. She's like, the guy at the door was my boyfriend. Amber says, I thought you only dated women. Puppy says, I dated you. I didn't date women. I was like, oh, Puppy. Puppy is so pretty. I really like her. So Amber says, well, let's double date. Why? That sounds like drama. We're exes. Why would we double date? Oh, she trying to stay on TV. Anyway, that's suspicious. So Puppy said she'll be on parole for the next 15 years. I was like, 15 years? I didn't know if I heard it right, but I didn't even know if nobody could be on parole that long. Like, damn. So she says that she's supposed to be living with her mom, but I guess her mom be getting on her nerves. So she lives with her boyfriend, Eric. So she goes back to the house and she explains to Eric, like, look, I met up with Amber for lunch and we just trying to reconcile things and be back in each other's lives. So her boyfriend, Eric, says that Puppy can't be friends with her ex. Like, he ain't got no exes that he cool with. And Eric is a pretty smart guy because he knows that Amber is plotting and thotting, okay? She ready to swim back up in there. I know what it is, child. She miss her some Puppy. So Puppy keeps saying that he's not rational, but he seems pretty rational to me. I mean, he know that Amber is just there for the TVs and she might want to smell it again, but that's about it. Like, he already know. He don't care who it is. He like Puppy and he ain't trying to, have nobody swarm in and get his woman. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the review. If you enjoyed the review, go ahead and give me a like. Go ahead and comment of what you thought of tonight's episode and Puppy and Amber and Mars and Brittany. Oh, child, and Stan and Lisa, child, a headache. So yeah, y'all. Make sure you subscribe before you head out. And yeah, I will see you on my next review. Ta-ta.